So my name is Tegan Becker, and I have been a premier for just under 3 years. And outside of jewelry life, I have 4 kids. So my oldest is Val. He's 7. Yep, my oldest child is in 1st grade. I have a 4-year-old daughter named Ember, and she's the first one to let you know that she is in charge. My 3-year-old Rose, the boy with the long flowing hair on the left in the picture, and our darling Maisie Grace is 8 months old. If that wasn't quite enough, I also teach 2nd grade full-time in Clear School District. Now that's pretty much word for word the way I introduce myself in my jewelry parties. The thing that I don't tell my guests is that I was so desperate for a break from people under 8 years old that it took me a year and a half into my jewelry business to realize that it wasn't just me time. This was actually a job. So my story might be different than yours, but the fact of the matter is we are all busy. Sure, I have a lot going on, but so do you. After being asked to give this presentation, I decided I should really figure out what it is that keeps me working Premier consistently, even when surrounded by so much else. So I'm going to share a couple of tips with you. These are the things that help me start out my business strong and helps keep me going through all the ups and downs. So my first tip that I have for you is to embrace the jewelry lady life. You need to jump in with both feet, or rather with your fingers, wrists, and earlobes. Wear it. Every time you leave the house without your jewelry, you are missing the chance to advertise. When I'm at school, I'm very often selling my jewelry. I wear different pieces that I've gotten compliments from people before. I actually had a coworker call me out on that last week. She was like, "Your jewelry looks amazing, as usual. Do you just wear it all the time so that we look at that and see what's new and know what to get?" I mean, yeah, of course. So my favorite new phrase is when someone compliments me out in public, I say, "Oh, I'm placing an order on Friday. Would you like me to order you one?" 3 is key, worked some instant magic on me, and I want others to feel that too. I really did feel more put together and confident and ready for the day when I added 3 accessories into my look in the morning. And I tell you, I sure was scrounging for those 3 accessories. I never wore jewelry before that moment, but it turns out it actually wasn't hard. The other piece of embracing the jewelry lady life is to see it in action. Steal all the verbiage, all the words, all the tips that other people say. Nothing that comes out of my mouth in my fashion segment of my jewelry show comes from me. I go to training, I furiously write down verbatim what people say about the jewelry, and I regurgitate that at my parties. That's 2 hours out of my month that puts me in a position of confidence, preparedness, inspiration, and connectedness that you're not going to find anywhere else. When we say work your business in the nooks and crannies of your day, these are things that you can do without setting that time aside. You don't have to set a timer for this. It just happens. Now, here's a recent idea that just struck me strongly as to how I run my business. It's time to move past the idea of work-life balance. It's not about give and take. It's not about you win some, you lose some. That's the easiest way to talk yourself out of a job or come to resent what it is that you're doing. Instead, I want to talk about shifting our perspective. Move from balance to performance capacity. My tank is full. I am lucky enough to have identified the gifts that God gave me and turn those gifts into a career that I'm passionate about. I find great fulfillment in the work that I do, and I know that not everyone can say that. So I want to encourage you to look for the things that fill you up. Actively search out positives in the work that you do so that you can fill your tank. This was a huge revelation for me, actually, and I think this is where your mindset really makes a difference. I'm really not juggling, or I'm really not balancing anything. Sometimes my tank is super full, and I'm juggling home, babies, baby jewelers, upcoming hostesses, past customers, social media, exchange orders, laundry. Luckily, my amazing hubby is around to make dinner because that's sure not the top of my priority list. Love you, babe. There are all kinds of books out there that will suggest ways for you to refill when you've drained yourself all the way to empty. But that's not going to be my focus today. What I will say, though, is that this is what Premier does differently. We are there for each other. We are there for each other in ways that I never expected. I didn't know that women could embrace each other and lift each other up. Who would have thought that jewelry ladies would fill a meal sign up so quick that some were disappointed at that they didn't have a chance to sign up? The number of times that I have had a new jeweler tell me, I had this amazing jewelry party this weekend. Well, it wasn't really a party, there weren't any guests, and there weren't any sales, but my hostess just really was having a hard time, and she needed someone, and God led me to her, and I could be there for her. So I want to encourage you to take half a step forward, friends, and you will see this incredible world of support that's just waiting to embrace you. So here's my next tip that involves jumping all the way into Premier. There are 1,001 ways or reasons why I love Premier, and I choose to share it with others. For me, a ginormous reason why I'm still living the jewelry lady life is that I made a commitment from day one to share it with other people so that they could love it too. I share the business all the time. I choose to sponsor women who I think will bring something phenomenal to the world of slinging bling, or who desperately need a community of women out there rooting for them. Those are your accountability buddies. Bring women onto your team who will help you grow as much as you help them. I sponsored before my training show, in fact. I knew that I did not have it all figured out at all, but I did believe Steph Stoddard and Kate Corbet when they said that they would be there for any women joining my team. Your upline is there for you. So, prove something to yourself. I also pick up most every challenge set before me because the only person I'm competing with is myself. That's a really cool feeling to stretch for something that I never thought that I could do. So let's look at that last thought up on the screen. Inflexible goals. I could be really motivational here, but I'm not going to be. I'm talking about quotas. Premier does not make us earn our 50% commission. And that is a beautiful and empowering thing. When you sponsor a new jeweler, though, Premier expects you to walk the walk and talk the talk and sling the bling. You're not able to just sponsor and then sit back on your couch and collect all the sweet commission. You have to keep up with your own jewelry business when you're collecting commission. Premier provided me with a quota when I signed up my first jeweler, and that has made a huge difference in the consistency of my business over these 3 years. I love this quota. It's not huge, it's not hard for me to reach, even while working full time, but it keeps me in check, and it keeps Premier on my mind all month long. So if I were to leave you with a tip number 2, it would be to sponsor. Just give yourself that little bit of inflexibility, and you never know, you could change a life or two along the way. So now we enter the interactive portion of my time with you. Just like my teaching, and just like my parties, I like interaction. I will be asking you to reflect. I will be asking you to share your ideas with people around you. I will ask you to actually write down your best ideas and other best ideas in the room. Even if you don't plan on keeping this paper, there's something about physically writing something down that makes it stick in your brain. So I only had a couple of tips for you. The other realizations should hopefully come from your own thinking, reflecting on experiences, and planning for a killer 2019. So we're going to go through a couple of different statements of what should I do. Like, okay, I know what I should do, I know what my jewelry mom would tell me to do, but then your brain kicks in, and it's like, forget that, let's just stay in bed instead. So then we're gonna brainstorm what we can do, something that you, as an individual, is capable of. So here's one just to get us warmed up. What I should do. What I should do is print out a really great worksheet for fellow jewelry ladies to use during a presentation to collect all their notes and brainstorming so it's saved in a convenient spot. But what I can do is save some energy and tell those ladies to pull out their own piece of paper and draw a line down the middle of it. Go ahead, pull out your own paper, draw a line down the middle of it. On one side have should do, and on the other side of it have can do. Okay, so while you're doing that, while you're pulling that out, here's another one just to kick us off. You don't have to write this down. What I should do. I should wake up early and make it to church at 8 a.m. with freshly bathed, like fancy clothed babies. Or what I can do is wear jeans and make it to the 9:30 contemporary service. Okay, here's one you can jot down on the what I should do. I could watch some Premier University videos to find out the best way to style our top sellers. Here's what I can do. I can scroll through Pinterest for an hour while laying in bed and pin all the best combinations. Now here's the thing, ladies, this can do, it's not as good. It doesn't get you to the same place. You don't get the best tips. You aren't getting that much better at being a jewelry lady. It's not going to impact your retail or your sponsoring potential the way that Premier University is designed to do it. But you know what this does? It builds the excitement, your capability. It helps you embrace that jewelry lady persona just a little bit more. You sure can't count it as office hours, but it is taking a step. This takes you one step closer to picking out a fun combination of jewelry to wear, which you'll wear to work the next day and probably get a compliment on, which boosts your potential to mention to a coworker about hosting a party. I'd like to give you 4 more best practices that are provided by some incredible jewelers in my upline, sideline, and downline. You'll have a minute to think about how to make it work for you, and then I'd like you to actually write down your can-do statement for each of them. Now, many of you ladies out there have a stellar jewelry business already, so if that's you, and I'm giving you a best practice that you can do in your sleep, I'd like you to think about someone in your life, maybe someone in your downline, who is struggling, and brainstorm some good I can suggestions for them to accomplish. So I'm going to ask you all to talk about your ideas with people nearby you. That's something that we jewelry ladies are actually really good at, is noticing who doesn't have anyone to talk to, right, and bringing them in. So I'm excited to see this. Probably going to work better than with my second graders. Okay, so you'll snag the best ideas and write those down on your paper as well. Okay, so here's the first one. What I should do. I should consistently hold 4 to 6 parties a month in order to keep my business high retailing and consistent. Okay, I'm going to put the mic down, and I'm going to walk around, and I'm going to steal some of your ideas that I hear you talking about. Okay, so think about this. This might not be you making 4 to 6 or having 4 to 6 parties a month. So what can you do? I don't have the answer. I'm going to walk. I'm going to see. I'm going to talk with people nearby. 1 minute. 1 minute.
Yeah, it's already.
jot down something to remind you. Here's what I should do. This one's really hard. What I should do. Pick up the phone to type in a number to call customers within a month of them ordering from you. Or alternately, call past hostesses in order to generate new parties or sales. I want to know from you people I want to barf every time I pick up the phone to call somebody. No joke. So I want to know what it is that you do to make that a little bit easier on yourself. So what can you do? What can you do to make that a little easier on yourself? I'm going to get lost.
That's what I do. I text. I'm like, did you get? Do you love it?
Figure out for that person, for that hostess or the customer, figure out what form of social media works best for them, what they primarily use, and meet them where they're at. So that's a good one. I love that idea. I also kind of like pile up things, and then I just do it all at once. The like first and second one are hard, and then so I'm catching up to people a little bit later, but I do try to call. So that's mine. Okay, all right, next one. What I should do, hold consistent office hours at least 3 times a week. What I should do, hold consistent office hours. That might look like 20 minutes. This isn't like a 2-hour sit down, but what can you do? What can you do?
What can you do?
interspersed with a lot of scrolling through Facebook. I'm not gonna lie. It's not, I mean it is, it's regular, but it's not, I'm not a to-do list person. I struggle in that area for sure, and I could do a lot better there, but I appreciate hearing your thoughts. Thanks, friends. Okay, so now this one. What I should do is plan to attend your local premier training each month. Okay, and I'm not going to give you time to think about this one. Can I get the next slide? I'm not going to give you a pass. You just got to go. You just got to go. You got to go to premier training. So whether you are there physically, whether you're streaming it, that's if you literally can't make it to your local training. I have gotten people set up from 3 states away with their local training. You know, it happens, you know, we are there for each other. It's there, so just go. Okay. Last one here. What I should do is be organized. I should be organized. Keep all your forms copied and sorted so your hostess and customers are very impressed with your level of professionalism. Now, we'll move on to me. I should have told you, avert your eyes. Avert your eyes. This is my office space. This is my office space. If I had let best practices feel like the only way to run my business, I would never have measured up. And I would have quit really quick. So it may take me twice as long to find what I'm looking for. I am certainly not suggesting this is what to aspire to, okay? And I'm never going to be a top retailer, and I'm not going to manage to keep track of 4 to 6 hostesses a month with a desk like this. But this is all I can manage during the school year. But then, I never thought I would make it to one diamond design guy. But at least at this point in my business, it is enough. I am enough. Every month, I spend $45 on many things, but only one of them brings me income. Next up, you're going to hear some specifics about the amazing opportunity that we have in Premier. Thank you.
Yeah, the video.
That's what we have. My income does help pay the bills. It also provides for groceries, for gas.
I love teaching. My goal has always been to have multiple streams of income.
I really can make my schedule around my kids and my family, and I really enjoy doing that.
I think equal to that is that it's been great to have something for myself. And you can do all that around the business life.